Okay. Okay, so, I mean, like I already said, I'll pretty much be running this myself, so switching over from announcing to actually running in just a second. We're going to be moving on to Evoland. Now, I will say, first and foremost, shoutouts to Mr. Mean Mustache for that run. That was a blast to watch. We are not entirely done for the day, though. We have got Evoland for you guys, and now I would imagine that a lot of you guys do not know this game. It's a fairly unknown game. But even if you do not know this game, be sure to stick around because we are going to be memeing the hell out of a lot of different games. I'll be explaining things as I go along, so Dutch J, if you can give me a countdown. So this is Evoland, any percent. So first off, I'm going to actually be unlocking moving left and right. Because, you know, we start the game with only being able to move left or move right, then left, then in all directions, and slowly but steadily we're starting to play a game. We've got some scrolling working, a sword, which is going to be really helpful. We're going to pick up this chest. Monsters are very, very dangerous in any percent, and I will say that this is where 90% of my runs die. We're going to get that music going. I'm going to take up that safety save point for you know, just for general marathon safety, and we're going to get some colors. Also, I just noticed that Steam achievement. I guess Jasper must have not turned his Steam off. This is going to be a blast. So basically, oh, there's the first death. That's completely fine, completely normal. At this point, every single enemy in the game one-shots me because health is not yet unlocked. So expect at least a good few deaths here. Those things getting out of the way. So we've still got that bat over here. He's gonna stay away. We're gonna get that game save. There is a story chest there, but you know, we don't really care for stories, so we're just gonna move on. All of these enemies being kinda nice from the looks of it. That bat tried to get me right there. But we're gonna unlock a little bit more free movement. Because, you know, moving around more freely would help if I don't actually end up killing myself there. That is a unfortunate death on that enemy. I tried to kill him to add to the safety because I was kind of worried he would walk down, and then I ended up walking into him. That wasn't quite smart, but that's okay. So we'll get free movement a second time. I've killed most of the enemies here, so we should be fine. With free movement, I can walk through those rocks. We're going to get the safe, and we're going to get into the last fight of this very first area. So basically, these all need 3 hits, and they can't be against their shield. And then the path will unlock. So now that we have that, we get our inventory. We're going to move on to the second area, the overworld. First, we're going to unlock some turn-based battles, meaning we can actually get into an encounter now. Generally, I need to kill 4 things at some point before I enter the next town. It doesn't matter in what combinations. It can be more, that's all fine, but I need to kill at least 4 in total. Ideally, I want to see that in 2 encounters, because 3 is the maximum per encounter, and ideally I want to see them be slimes. So far, so good. We're going to get Mode 7, you know, introduced back in 1990. I'm going to get a single slime. That's kind of unfortunate, but we should be good here. Going to get some money. Basically, I need some money, because we need to buy equipment, and, you know, equipment is expensive, as with any game. RPGs tend to have that. Single Emak, that's a fine closing encounter. This is like pretty much just fine as long as we only get the amount that we need, meaning 4 encounters total. It's one of the main RNG points in the game, but we should be fine. Also, I just picked up place names. I really did not need to do that. That's a 100% thing. It doesn't actually waste any time, but so yeah, this game, it kind of has 2 categories. We've got any percent and we've got 100%. 100% being quite a few hours longer than this, but in that you have to pick up every single chest, which I kind of did out of habit there. We're gonna get into the village, and we're gonna just walk around unlocking a few things. I guess we have time for a quick donation in the meantime.
Okay, so we actually got a 15 euros and 1 cent donation from I Eternal Darkness saying Bork Bork. Thank you for that wonderful donation.
So yeah, in the meantime, we went into the well and we grew older, because we started this game as a kid, as with many great RPGs. And yeah, now that we're an adult, we can talk to people. NPCs will actually talk to us. We can enter houses because of that chest, but the innkeeper is not there. Let's unlock that shopkeeper. So I'm gonna go buy 2 things: a armor and a sword. So there's this guy in front of a bridge, not too far away from here, and he's not going to let us pass unless we are fully equipped, because, you know, equipment is important and you wouldn't survive otherwise, even though we killed pretty much the same encounters just now. Gonna walk through through this town. We're gonna get to this chest, and that is a forced fight. Somebody's calling for help, so let's go give that help. We get to fight 3 scavens. These are all easy fights. They'll go down in 1 hit. So that's 2. And Kairos joins our party. So far, so good. Nothing too special going on. This probably all looks very, very normal so far. So we get into this cave here, and this is where we're going to see the first, you know, where we're kind of going to start memeing around a little bit. Specifically when we get to the boss. This is also the first dungeon where we get to see one of the first glitches in the game. There's quite a few of them. Some of them are absolutely hilarious. You'll see them, I'll explain them as we go along. So these encounters, they are not at all worth it to kill for me. First of all, because there is no such thing as experience yet. Well, now there is, but there wasn't at the time. So, you know, killing things without getting any reward other than some money that we don't really need, it's not really worth it. On top of that, I really don't need any experience. So I'm gonna take this heal here. This is a heal you would normally try to skip in any percent. But because it is a marathon, I mean, I might as well. It's not that big a time loss. I think my current PB actually had to get that heal as well because I just took way too much damage. Here after this encounter, hopefully, we're gonna get into the first glitch. There's a little button coming up here that I need to press in order to unlock the path. By going into the menu at the exact same frame that I pretty much entered that block, there's a few frame windows there, but you know, by going into the menu, I can move as it's unlocking. And an interesting thing there is actually, if I happen to get an encounter as the song is playing, I will get into 2 encounters, and only the second one I'll actually have to fight. So this is Kefka's Ghost, which for anybody that's ever played Final Fantasy VI, you may recognize this boss. I kind of made a mistake there, but that's okay. So yeah, Kefka, for those that don't know, is a reference to the final boss of Final Fantasy VI, which we get to fight because, you know, reasons, I guess. Very straightforward fight. He also has a very special phase where he's gonna go into a sort of ghost state, pretty much how every first Final Fantasy boss is for Final Fantasies 4, 5, and 6. Really starts to reference that Final Fantasy part here. But yeah, basically during the ghost phase, I just don't attack and I just wait it out. Kairos is getting kind of low on health. Nothing I need to worry about, but I do need to get that kill soon. So that is... okay, he's not down yet. Kefka's Ghost is generally down just after that second ghost phase. We get level 3 out of that fight, we get the crystal, and that means we're now going to actually play the game in 3D. Because, you know, we've played the game in 2D long enough. We're gonna walk around with these pretty poor graphics, honestly. I can't really be bothered to pick up better graphics. We are gonna get a life, though, because dying on every single hit is kind of painful. So let's go. Let's get that out of the way. Now, remember that area we started at? Well, yeah, we're gonna go back there. Technically, this is the same area. It's called Edenvale. You wouldn't notice that at first until you pass this stone. So left of here, we picked up that free movement. Down here was that bat I killed myself on earlier because I made a mistake there. This guy we've already seen before. Up here is the story chest that we skipped right at the start of the game. We're pretty much right back at the start of the game. You know, but then in 3D because obviously that's supposedly better here. We're gonna get some life drops because, well, I mean, it's nice that we have life now, but it would kind of run out quickly if we only have those 3 hearts. We'd be limited to 12 hits, but now monsters can actually drop life, so you know that can help us survive a little bit. Okay, let's get to the overworld. And that's still 2D. Oh, let's Ah, there we go. It's already done. We've got 3D on the overworld now as well. And with that, we're going to move on to probably execution-wise the hardest dungeon in the game. Not so much because this dungeon itself is really hard, but because there are a lot of really, really minor skips that you can do that each save a few seconds each. First off, I need to get that pot that allows me to break the pots later on. I'm going to kill that bat. And this is going to get more of those like pressure plates that we saw earlier, and we can use it for a very similar glitch around here, allowing me to move as the cutscene plays. Really convenient, honestly. I'm gonna take that little bit of extra health. We're gonna get these red mages here. Now these red mages are kinda annoying. That's okay though, we got through without getting hit. And here in this room we've got one of my favorite glitches. It's not really difficult, but it's kind of precise. Let's see if we can get it. So yeah, we've got that, because we can. Went into the menu at just the frame that I killed that last one, and that allows me to move as I'm picking up the chest with the key, pretty much leaving the key behind. There's a few more occasions where we get to do that. This one was the easiest of those, so let's hope I can get the other ones. Something happened again, somewhere. Well, let's see where that is. So we pick up this chest and we get kind of like a maze here. I mean, it's pretty straightforward once you know the path here. Even if you don't, there aren't really a lot of paths you can go. So we're going to pick up this key. That's going to help me unlock the next door. Guess what it's used for? Well, what do you guys guess? I mean, there's plenty of people here. What should we use that key for? A weapon, a chest. Okay, let's see. Maybe, it's a door supposedly. I guess yeah. Okay, who was it that got that? Zeta. Good job, Zeta, for getting the correct answer there. So we're gonna get the pushable blocks here. Well, we're gonna push them because they're pushable blocks. Pretty much getting me the same idea as I had earlier, and I'm about to get another really important skip. This next skip saves about a minute, I want to say. It basically saves me having to fight several enemies. So I'm going to try to get that. I'm going to go into the menu here. I'm actually going to wait it out for once, and that has a very important reason. There is a very, very small chance I soft lock here. I will say that's happened in one run before. I think I know why, and it shouldn't happen, but I'm just going to mention it regardless. Okay, we did not soft lock. That's a good thing. Basically, if you walk slightly too far there, you just crash the game. Like, it doesn't know what to do because you're not supposed to be there. That room we were in just now, that now has 3 skeletons that would each take 2 hits in order to kill. They'd be really annoying, and it'd be a lot of time lost to get them down. Not gonna want to bother with that, so instead we're just gonna skip the fight altogether. So this is a bit of an interesting area. These whirlwinds, they're not that hard to skip. The thing is, I need to absolutely not fall down in that third one. If I fall down in that third one, it loses like 2 minutes right away. Because it brings me back to a hidden chest earlier in the game, which, because it's any percent, we don't want to get. That is kind of annoying, but I can probably fix this. Okay, these mages are definitely putting me in a really bad position here. Okay, gonna set up another glitch, similar like how we did before. We're gonna get into the menu. These mages and bats are gonna be annoying here, but that's okay. I'm gonna damage boost through these spikes. Let's see if I can get it here. And we're gonna do this again, because we can. And, well, I mean, guess what it's used for? Well, it's another door, so... So now we've got lava. M3, I seem to recall you really enjoyed lava, didn't you? Yeah. Well, here you get to see some more. So get hyped for that one. You want to see a lava boost? I might be able to make that work. Let's see if we can. I'm coming up on a really important segment here. Failed it. Still not. I guess I'm getting too low on health. M3, you should really do those lava boosts for me. I am not good at that at all. I will say, though, there is a little bit of a quote-unquote lava boost in 100% that is actually useful, but not in any percent, unfortunately. I did purposely get my health down. That's because we're going to do a death warp here. Basically, I'm going to get this key. And normally what you have to do is you have to clear the entire room before you can get to that door, because then the gates unlock and you can walk to the door and you can move on to the boss. However, since we've already picked up the chest, I can just run into enemies until I get a death. I get sent back to the start of the dungeon, and well, here is that boss door. So, you know, skips me having to clear that entire room, saves quite a few minutes. And in this next room, we're going to possibly get an achievement. It's a really hard achievement to get. This is probably the hardest achievement in 100%. In 100%, you can get an achievement for beating this guy without taking damage. This is basically a mirror image of myself. He's got 3 moves. He can charge into me, spawn bats, or give me fireballs. Bats is pretty much like the worst thing he can do. And he is spawn... Okay, the charge is the thing we need. Every time he charges into a wall, I get the hit off, and I need 6 hits in total. If I do that without taking damage, which is no longer the case, it can actually still happen if we... Well, okay, now it's pretty much done. That's okay, though. We don't need that for any percent. Generally, bats can drop health, and the only thing the game actually checks is whether your health is at full at the end of the battle. I think we have time for a quick donation right now. Oh, wow, that was pretty bad movement from my part.
Alright, we have 2 donations actually. One from Xida, €5, saying Crrool has started. Hype! Good luck, buddy. Then we have €20 from Boxwing Duck, saying, I'm the cardboard box that donates in the night. I am the marathon softlock that never happened before. Shout out to BSG Primetime Runs by our in-house graveyard runner, Crrool. Unfortunately, I can't watch Lufia for long. Let's add some Evoland spirit to that run by naming the main character Clink. Thank you so much for those generous donations, guys.
So yeah, we've killed the boss. It took a little bit longer than expected, and we pick up the legendary sword. You may recognize that sword from such games as, well, Final Fantasy VII. It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? And we're going to go up on probably the biggest time save in the game. Let's see if I can get it. I did not get it. If my escape button would work, that would be nice. That is interesting. For some reason, my escape isn't working. That is not good. So I'm supposed to actually cancel out of the game if I fail that. Otherwise, this is going to be kind of annoying. But for some reason, escape isn't working. What? I mean, if I do not, no. I think it's probably best to just actually restart the game at that point. That should work as well. Reset, yep. That's kind of rough, but like my escape didn't work for some reason. This should be fine though. Yeah, okay. This is fine. This worked. There we go. That's what we needed to do. Second try. So yeah, that chest right there has all of the overworld encounters in it. So by skipping it, which is frame perfect, I need to be on the exact correct pixel in order to skip it. We can completely skip the chest and not get any overworld encounter, and that saves minutes right there. So like I had to find a way to get through that. I guess closing off the game will do. So we get to this guy. We actually get to name this guy as well. We're just going to go with the default name because it's way too fast to mash to actually type that out. But his name is Sid. The name sounds kind of familiar, but maybe one of you guys can clear up what who Sid is from again. But yeah, he tells us a little bit about the story of the game, and basically what we need to do is this town, it's kind of under... it's not really a curse, but it's definitely not going well here, and that's due to somebody being in a tower nearby. And in order to access that tower and defeat that guy, we need to collect two pieces of an amulet. So, well, we're going to just collect those 2 pieces. The problem is we kind of need bombs. Supposedly, however, somebody in this town happens to have bombs. So we're going to see if we can find that guy. We kind of got a clue there in that maybe one of these people will know. So we're gonna talk to this guy over here. He tells us, well, the nurse might have an idea as to who it is. I guess we'll talk to the nurse then. So this is the nurse. She mentioned something about somebody treating burns. Some old lady that might be able to help us out, give us a clue as to where we can find those bombs. So we're gonna do just that. By the way, this is literally like 3 minutes of walking around town talking to people. It's probably the least exciting part, but it kind of gives the background story of the game in terms of talking to a lot of people, because you're basically forced to talk to almost everyone. However, the one of the two people we don't actually talk to has one of the most amazing glitches, which we're going to see after we have gotten the first amulet piece. This is going to look quite interesting, I'll say that much. But yeah, she told us that the soldier at the entrance of town, he may give us a clue. He may have seen something. So we're going to talk to him. And he tells us, well, I think he thinks that he saw the kid that's running around town playing with it, but we should probably ask his mom, which is right next to Sid, where we've kind of started this entire fetch quest. She tells us that the kid does have it, and it's probably safer in our hands because they're bombs, and who in their right mind would let their kids play with bombs? But I suppose. So yeah, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk to that kid real quick. We're gonna see what he's gonna have to say here. He's chasing a butterfly, but he does give us the bombs, no problem. He just goes on chasing that butterfly. Surprisingly, the butterfly isn't smart enough to, you know, step out of that circle it's flying in, but I suppose. So yeah, we get bombs, and with that we can move on to the next dungeon. Basically, there are two places we can go for. We can either go to the Sacred Grove, which is where we'll go first, or we can go to the ruins of Saradnak. Both of them having a very, very different playstyle from each other. First, we're going to go through the Sacred Grove, and this is a kind of tough dungeon, in that we kind of want to take no damage at all here, or rather as little as possible. There is one thing where we're going to purposely take some damage, but we're going to try to avoid damage at all times. Basically, if I take too much damage here, the chances of dying in the next area are pretty high. Also, by hitting the crystals, we can time travel back to where the game was in 2D. So, you know, we're now going to get a mix of 2D and 3D play. Now, M3, I'm going to have to get back to you on this one again. I know, I'm sorry, but we're going to enter another lava area. It's this one specifically. You don't actually see it until we walk too close. It looks pretty dangerous, doesn't it? It's, yeah, this is probably... and there's these bats flying around. These bats can actually really easily push me in, and that loses a lot of time. I'm going to take that heart to get my health back to full. There's also that really, really interesting thing. Now, you wanted to see a lava boost, right? Yes. Now, we're going to see a lava boost, all right. So I'm going to pick up the bow here, and we're going to, well, get back to the start like that. That is probably the toughest lava boost in the game, I will say. Probably because it's the only one, but, you know, minor detail, minor detail. So yeah, we basically shot the arrow through the fire, killed a little, a very young tree there, and that's gonna allow us to just change the future, basically. We could also do that here, or we could just place a bomb and skip that. Just instantly move on. So that skips me having to solve that puzzle. You know, not having to solve puzzles because we can skip them seems like a good way to save some time. In 100%, you do have to do that because there is one little chest that you get by doing that bit of the puzzle. But it's not a required chest by any means. Basically, to give a little bit of an idea, in 100, or this game in general, it has 23 cards and 30 stars, kind of the collectibles of the game. Which one of those is in that chest, so that's why we don't need to do that here, but would need to do that in 100%. We don't need any of the collectibles. We would actually want to have fewer than 5 cards going out of this dungeon for a glitch that's coming up shortly. So in that sense, it's working out nicely. Might want to shoot my arrows into the right direction. So we're going to hear 2 of these sequences back to back, pretty much. Gonna light a torch. Okay, that was interesting. So I shot that arrow right there in the right direction, but it hit the bat. The bat actually managed to get in the way. That is very rare to happen, but I guess that can happen sometimes. So now we're going to come up on yet another little skip, another puzzle that we can completely skip, although this is another somewhat frame-perfect trick in that I have to be on the precise X pixel, and there we got it first try. So yeah, you're not supposed to shoot past that statue at all, but by shooting at the exact leftmost X pixel, you end up just shooting the thing without any problems, and you know, you just light the other one without having to worry about it. That is the amulet, by the way, that I picked up there, so we completely left the amulet in that spot. It's actually still flying there too, as you can see. It doesn't actually matter, we still got it despite it being in the air for pretty much all of eternity. These mages are kind of trolling me right now. Okay, that's one down. You can kind of cheese these mages by just placing a bomb, going into the menu, freezing them in their position, and then just moving on like that. And with that, well, we're going to head out of Sacred Grove. I'm still at full health. That is a good sign. It's rare for me to actually get out of this place with full health. Let's see if we can keep that through this last bit, though. So yeah, we have the amulet piece, even though it's still flying in that dungeon somehow. But I guess we'll just take it and we'll move on. Similar idea as before. We've now time traveled 12 times, which unlocks another achievement. Really cool achievements right there. And we're out of the Sacred Grove with full health. So, let's go. So we're going to go back to Aogai Village, and this is where we're going to set up probably the most interesting glitch in the game. So far we've done a lot of minor glitches, but we haven't really done anything too seemingly different. I'm going to talk to this guy real quick. I'm going to tell him that we want to play the card game, but we don't have enough cards. However, that text box never actually closes, so we can just bring that with us. And I can talk to the nurse here, and now we're bringing her text boxes with us, because text boxes hold a lot of power. So the nurse does two things. First of all, she has a default heal on the third text box, and she has a save on the fourth text box. So she's going to allow me to heal and save just by mashing through this text box. Really convenient as we enter the ruins of Sarodnak. First, we're going to have a character decision here. We're going to choose the girl because, well, girls, let's be real, it's the only right choice here. And we're going to get the chain hit chest right there. These spiders are actually kind of dangerous. And that's why we brought the health, because coming out of that, I was practically dead. I was on less than half a heart. And, well, now we're pretty much full health again. These spiders are just going to follow me around. We're not going to care. Let's be fair. They're just spiders. They might be slightly bigger than average, but I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. These are skeletons. I don't care for skeletons either. These mages can actually hurt. I need to watch out to not get hit by those fireballs. Getting hit by a physical hit doesn't do much, but those fireballs hit pretty hard, so... That spider from the beginning of this part is being really persistent today. I will say that much, but we're not gonna care. Also, this floor changing color, completely normal. That's because we actually never picked up the lighting in this area, so the floor kind of glitches out here. Lots and lots of enemies chasing me. Do we really need to care about this, guys? I think we're fine, right? Oh, some more bats. Bats are fun. They killed us at the start as well. Maybe we should be careful. You know what? Let me make a safety save there. So yeah, that actually saves me in place. Now, if I happen to do it too close to the border, you can actually soft lock the game. That's actually happened before in a practice run of this for BSG, as I was on the BSG event already. We're kind of low on health, but it should be more than enough for me. I should be able to deal with this, as long as I don't get hit by those fireballs. Seems like you should not have opened this one. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we're gonna fight the Undead King here. Nice health drop there, by the way. We're gonna just get him behind one of those places, that's going to completely block all of his fireballs, meaning that is not going to do any damage, and we're just going to mash the spacebar until this guy is dead. This is why I kind of need a little bit of health, just so that I can tank some hits here. So getting close to killing him. He's spawning a second set of bats, seeing a lot of money here as well. The money is actually useful because I'll use that to buy potions for this next boss fight, the one we'll get after killing this guy. But yeah, that's the boss. That's it. Gonna pick up that last bit of health. So normally in most any percent runs, you would death warp here back into that save to make sure that, you know, all of these guys are gone. I figured I was on high enough health to push through, and I was, so, you know, we're going to not have to bother. My health is kind of low, but that doesn't matter from this point on anymore. We get a default heal coming out of this place. We get the second amulet part, and I don't like walking out, so we're going to just take this town portal right here. Let's buy some potions. It would probably be a good time to make sure I have some heal items on me. That's about as much as I can buy. And now that we have the 2 amulet pieces, we can move on to the tower and beat the boss. Now this is the final boss of the game, but time is not right after this fight. I will say that in advance. So we're just gonna have to beat this guy, and we're gonna see what happens. As we walk here, I guess you can do a quick donation.
All right, we have a 10 euro donation from Anonymous saying, I am the Shadow Realm duelist that you don't want to duel against. I am the Raigeki top deck that breaks your board. I am Yu-Gi-Oh! Wing Duck. Donation goes to Crrool's choice. Just kidding, it all goes to kill Gordovan Gates. Kappa. Thank you for that donation.
Thank you, Saito. I mean, we can all confirm that I guess he made a mistake in the processing and set it to not have his name in there, but that was I'm expecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Wing Duck from the comment at least. While we're doing this fight, how are we doing on the Gordovan Gades incentive anyway? Just being curious right there. In the meantime, this is Zephyros, by the way. Totally not based off of Sephiroth. It only sounds somewhat similar. He just takes a few hundred points of damage before he actually starts moving on to the second phase. I'm basically going to throw potions whenever I get below like 30-ish health. And we're just going to deal as much damage as possible. This is kind of an RNG-based fight in that the amount of damage I do is random, and that can really either speed up or slow down this fight. Because I have basically had to use all of my potions already, and we are not even in the next phase yet. It's completely fine if I run out of potions before this next phase, but that means I need to use heals, which is a little bit slower.
Alright, just a quick update on the donation incentive. It is currently 22 and 95 cents out of 65. Oh, 32 and 95 cents.
So we're about halfway done with that, I suppose. Looks like we still have some ways to go before Gordovan Gades then. Okay, this is really unlucky. Kairos did not die to the Kamehameha wave. Kamehameha wave totally not being base of something else, by the way. That's totally unique to this game. So he beats both of my characters, and he goes on to kill off Kairos. And Kairos is actually dead here, so I want to see some Bible thumbs in chat. He just literally killed off Kairos, and we're going to get a quick cutscene. I'm going to pretty much mash through the entire thing. We're going to see Kairos' body disappear here. She is gone once and for all. And in our rage, we're going to awaken our power to summon the dragon Babamoot. Well, let's just see what this powerful magic spell has. So we're gonna get to see a bit of a cutscene of Babamoot. Totally not based off Bahamut, by the way. Just wanted to mention that. Does 765 damage, pretty much killing off Zephyros. but he is not yet dead. We're going to get some experience, which totally isn't going to do anything anymore. We're going to walk back into town, and while we do, you can do another donation.
All right, we have 10 euros from Gateswing Duck saying, I am the Sinistral that destroys in the night. I am the explosion caster that destroyed your home time. I am the weakest Sinistral wing duck. Weaklings, seems like you won't survive in Gordovan tonight. Weaklings, I will obliterate you like Exodia would donation. Oh, like Exodia would. Sorry. Donation goes to Crrool's Choice. Got you again, lul. Again to kill Gordovan Gates. PogChamp. Thank you so much for those donations.
So yeah, in the meantime, we're going to get back to Sid. Everybody in town, they're pretty much mourning the death of Kairos. And Sid, he is quite mad, so he's going to tell us where we can find Zephyros. He's healing up in the mana tree, and we're gonna get his airship so that we can get to the mana tree and beat him once and for all. I hope you guys get the reference to the mana tree, by the way. Do I need to explain that to anyone, or? Okay, looks good then. So we're gonna get into the airship, and we're gonna get into the final boss fight. Now, this next boss consists out of 3 phases. Time, by the way, being as the last text box after the last phase closes. So we're gonna fight off Zephyros, and this is what he looks like in his full form. He's quite a bit bigger, quite a bit more well suited, I guess. So the first phase consists out of me having to hit his hands 10 times per hand. It's fine if I take a little bit of damage doing so. I can get 2 hits off if I do it, if I get to the hand quick enough, if I'm close enough. So we're going to get rid of one of these hands first, and then we're going to move on to the next one. You can kind of manipulate him by the way that you move as you go along through the fight. So if I move to the right, he's usually going to move further to the right, allowing me to more easily hit the left hand, and vice versa. He is not cooperating right now. That's okay, though. Okay, need 2 more hits on that hand, and then we're through the first phase. There we go, that's the first phase down. That gets rid of the hands. The second phase, we need to hit his armor, and we can then hit the orb inside. So he gets anywhere between 4 and 6 of those boosts. We can then walk around and hit that orb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I may miss that. I missed that. That's okay. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's more favorable. You need to hit him 4 times in total, so that's 2, 4, 5. I barely miss it. He is not giving me good RNG here. It's kind of RNG, as far as I'm aware, where that orb is going to move to. So sometimes it's a little harder to get to. Sometimes it gets close enough that you can get 2 hits off in 1 turn. Sometimes it's just so far away that it's almost impossible to get that hit. Ah, come on. This is not good right now. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the second phase down, and with that, we're going to move on to the third phase. We're going to get a few text boxes in between, but this time we're going to fight Zephyros himself. He's going to basically make a decision between either casting 3 red orbs or 1 blue one. Ideally, I want to see the blue ones as often as possible, and that I can cast back to him. I need to hit him 4 times with that. He's not giving me good spawns here. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. Get ready on time. Oh, I was slightly too early on my hit there. That's okay, that's okay. We can deal with it. Come on, blue orbs. 3. I need 1 more hit. So let's get that last hit. Get ready. Time. So yeah, with that, we kill off Zephyros, and well, we've pretty much saved Evolandia, and with that, the world, something like that. We are now the hero, and yeah, that's pretty much Evoland in a nutshell. Like there are a lot of things I didn't get to show off. There is a lot of stuff we skip in any percent, but basically it's just one giant mashup of a lot of different games, as you saw, and it's just a blast to play. I can strongly recommend that. Next up, we're gonna be doing some Lufia, which personally is my favorite game of all time. So we're gonna move on to that real quick. In the meantime, there are. I want to mention that now before we get this set up, so that you guys know what you're up against. The incentive for Gordev and Gades is going to close at roughly the 45-minute mark of this next run. So we'll see how close that is, and make sure to get that, because that is a very interesting fight. Yeah, I'm going to give it up to our host team as we set up the next run.